Look for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.
Hey Thrifties, welcome back to the Get Thrifty Podcast, brought to you by ARC Thrift Stores. ARC Thrift Stores is a nonprofit thrift store chain, and I am your host, Maggie Civic. We are all about sharing everything that has to do with shopping secondhand. So if you're part of our unique thrift culture, please contact us. We would love to promote your business and your social channels and share your stories and advice with our listeners. As always, you know where to find us on Instagram and YouTube at ARC Thrift. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to have a Texan join us today. Emily created Landerline in September 2021 after becoming burnt out with her own consumption habits. As a regular shopper, she found herself spending an exhaustive amount of time browsing, buying, returning, and purging. We all can agree. She embarked on a journey to learn more about the why behind her overconsumption and decided to help others do the same. Upon her research, she discovered how environmentally damaging the fashion waste crisis is and became an advocate for change. Through sharing her personal research with her audience, as well as partnering with ethical brands, change makers, and nonprofit organizations, Landerline brings insight and hope to those who are inspired to reduce their carbon footprint through their personal consumption. Please welcome sustainable fashion advocate Emily to the show. We're so excited.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
We are jazzed to have you. We love living out loud and really getting to the heart of one of the reasons that we are trying to normalize secondhand. So before we go any further, let's give all of our listeners your social channels so that people can follow along as they listen today.
Yes, I am on Instagram at the Landerline. I have a website, landerline.com, that's kind of like a landing page for recommendations on books and podcasts, which I will have to add y'all, and different like opportunities to learn. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Easy peasy. And they can always Google you if they want to as well.
Sure.
So let's kind of back up. You're a young mama. Tell us like how you really found secondhand and what really turned you on to this, kind of the origin story.
Okay. So I grew up, I'm originally from Austin, but I grew up in the Bay Area and was never exposed to shopping secondhand.
Wow.
It wasn't very popular where I was. Like there weren't a lot of there were a few resale shops and things like that, but no one in my life like really introduced it to me and brought me into that world. And so it just has never been at the forefront of my mind. I was actually one of those people who was like, ew.
Yeah.
Which now it's like my whole entire world. So it just shows how much you can change. But I was like a consistent shopper. That was just, it's like so embarrassing to think about. It was really a hobby of mine, which I think a lot of people can relate to.
Oh yeah.
And so it wasn't until, and I've always been really into fashion and style. And like, that's how I express myself. That's where I find my creative flow. And it wasn't until I became a mom for the second time when I had my son. And he was a baby. And I was seeing a therapist at the time for anxiety. And I remember telling her, like, I have so much anxiety right now. And she was like, why? And I'm like, I'm returning like I buy things and I just return them. And I'm getting anxious about how much time I'm spending doing that. Okay, we have some things to talk about.
Wow.
And that's kind of like where my journey started, where like I'm pretty self-aware about like what I'm thinking and feeling and all those things, and talking about it really helps me. But shortly after that, I was driving home and it just was like this aha moment, like this huge shift where I was like, I am wasting so much of my life participating in this cycle, which at the time I didn't know anything about it. Like I couldn't name it. There was no influencer that I was following that was like, I was like, yes, that's me, It just kind of like came into my brain. And so I started researching specifically about the fashion industry and like how it works, why it works so well, like, and how it's captivated us to continue to just buy new all the time. And that's where I kind of fell into this world of sustainable fashion and how bad the fashion industry really is in so many ways, like environmentally, psychologically, behaviorally, all the things. And I became so fascinated with that. And that motivated me to share with other people, because I was like, if I, like someone who likes clothes and style, but it's like, I'm also educated and like aware and if I didn't know any of this stuff, like there's got to be so many people who don't know.
100%.
So that's how Landerline was born.
Okay. So you decided that you were going to share this out loud. When did the actual purchasing of secondhand come into play, or were they both kind of at the same time?
It was kind of all at the same time. With what I was researching, like secondhand was obviously the best option if you are going to buy new or buy anything, not new. And so that's when it clicked, where I was like, okay, there's a whole world out there that I haven't even discovered. And so it was like kind of like this slow build up from that.
Interesting. What's the name about? What does it mean?
Oh, Landerline.
Mhm.
So originally when I first wanted to create something, I thought I was actually going to create an e-commerce business and only focus on ethical brands so that people could have access and like this kind of revolve per se of ethical brands. And then when I started learning just about how damaging just any kind of like platform like that can be, I was like, forget it. But I had already chosen the name. So the name Lander is a name that I loved for a child, but we're not going to have any more kids. And I still wanted to use it.
Oh,
And
your next baby.
yeah. And because I was thinking about the business as a retail business, I just added line because I thought it sounded nice and kind of like brought in the fashion piece. And then, obviously I didn't go that direction, and I kept the name because I liked it.
Okay. And what do people find when they visit your website? Tell us about the business of it.
Well, there's actually now it's definitely not a business. It's more of just like a platform for people to come and like feel seen and have an actionable plan or like actionable things they can do every day to break out of that cycle. So it's more of like a philosophy education platform.
Yeah. And you definitely have built a community around this. I love, the comments you're getting, you're sharing information, you're inspiring people to make these changes in their life that are meaningful. That's not just around shopping, but it's like a lifestyle.
Yeah. And I think, sustainable fashion, at first, it was very much at the forefront of how I spoke and how I operated and how I thought of things.
Mhm.
Now that it's been several years since I've had this platform, I realize like sustainable fashion is a big piece of it, but it's also not that approachable for a lot of people. Like I think people just tune out sometimes when they hear that word because it's so overused and it's used inappropriately a lot of the time, that it's
Like a
really
buzzword,
about
yeah.
like what's happening in your body when you are participating in X, Y, and Z.
Wow.
My background's in social work. I should have prefaced that. I was a social worker and for 12 years and was in medical social work. So I feel like that actually prepared me a lot in like how I speak to people and how I approach people and when and why they need help,
Yeah.
basically.
And there is a psychology behind this. And you are
100%.
offering, it is like help for that shopping addict.
Yeah.
Describe to us what it felt like when you came from like, oh, secondhand is weird, it's gross, and it is weird. It's a crazy place to be. I can tell you firsthand. But, when you grew up with this whole, like, this is not a place for me, what was it like to walk into it? How did you change your mindset and become okay with it?
Yeah. I think it definitely took time. And I do know a lot of people who are like, I don't go to thrift stores because it's so overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Yeah.
And I understand that because I felt that way when I started too. I think you kind of have to like create or like have like a game plan a little bit when you walk in, because for me, like if I'm looking for something specific, I'm not going into a thrift store because you just never know what you're going to find. Like there's no guarantee. And I think it can be discouraging if you're like, I want a black pair of pants. Well, a black pair of pants in your size might not be there and you're going to spend hours searching. If you have hours, then go for it. But if you don't, like that can feel like it's not right for you. So
Yeah.
I think you have to have an open mind. I also always set a timer because I don't have
Interesting.
hours. I don't have hours to like scour the rack. So like I'll go in for 30 minutes, I'll set my timer, and then I'm not like distracted by my phone or like my watch or whatever to look at the time. And when that 30 minutes is up, I leave.
Put some boundaries on it. And
Yeah,
I like
and like,
how, go ahead.
sorry, to answer your question, I've just found so many amazing things that are new that I
Yeah.
think people don't realize, like when you're thrifting, a lot of it's not old stuff. Like a lot of it's brand new stuff. And so it's just exciting. Like you get excited to find that kind of stuff.
And
So
you want to
that's kind of
brag
what
about
keeps
it.
me
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
How do you feel about, and are you seeing, especially in your area, more fast fashion hitting the thrift stores?
Oh, yes. It's filled with fast fashion
It's
all
crazy.
the time. Yeah.
What's your advice for how to avoid that kind of thing?
As a thrifter, how to
Mhm.
avoid fast fashion?
Yep.
I mean, I don't think there's a way to avoid what gets donated. Like, the best that you can do is personally not buy fast fashion and donate it. But
Yeah.
I think spreading awareness on like what happens to a lot of donations at a lot of different donation centers, and the materials that are in fast fashion are synthetic materials most of the time, and it's just going to pollute the planet wherever it lands. So I think just accepting that like thrifting isn't what it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just don't really know how to answer that because I feel like as a thrifter, you can't really do much about what other
What
people
gets donated. Yeah. It's hard. And people are constantly asking us they're asking our people like questions about, can you tell me what this is made of? But we have no idea. We put out on the floor what gets given to us. So it's interesting as our employees get more savvy about this too, they're determining what they put out based on, what the customer's asking for, that they don't want all this, really junky fast fashion that's going to fade away in their washing machine.
Absolutely.
It really is interesting.
I mean, I think if you're really if you're someone who's focused on natural materials, you can still find those in thrift stores for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, just like online secondhand shopping is a great place too, because you can easily search for like based on materials too.
Absolutely.
It'd be more expensive, but you can find specific things easier that way.
And before we get into like your favorite haunts in Austin, which I definitely want to do, talk about the rule of 5, because I think you're creating something fun here that people are really like, they are hooked and they're trying to do it and they're taking up on the challenge.
It's so funny. People have so many feelings about the rule of 5. So the rule
and
of
questions like they want to know, does jewelry count? Does this count? Does that count?
Exactly. Yes. So the rule of 5 is a challenge, and it was created by this woman named Tiffany Dark. She is in London. She's London based, and she's a fashion writer, and she's got a great Substack. So I would definitely check her out because she's hysterical and she has a lot of really good information. But she based the challenge off of this study that was done in 2022 by the Hot or Cool Institute. And they looked at the world's wealthiest countries and made calculations. Like, it's a very dense study, but it's also a worthwhile read. And they calculated that if every single person in the world's wealthiest countries only bought 5 brand new pieces of clothing a year, the fashion industry could get close to their climate goals.
Wow.
And so I'm like, duh, like I'm doing that. Not that, I think that just because I'm doing it, that's going to happen, but because it's like, yeah, I don't need more than 5 things. Where did we get away from that idea that we need so many things?
Yeah. Something new for every event. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I love it so much as my 4th year doing it. People ask me if it's hard. And my answer is no, because I was in a place where I was just ready.
Yeah.
I was ready to like have this kind of challenge and have direction. And, a lot of people say I could never do that, or like, I've already messed up. Like, I've already bought 3 things and it's like the first month. It's like, you can mess up. No, you're not going to get arrested. You know, like you can mess up, you can start over. So I think it's something that if you're searching for some insight into like why you shop or what you're feeling and like how it's connected to how you're feeling, like I do think a challenge like the rule of 5 or like a 30-day no buy is super, super helpful.
And now how does secondhand play into that? Because you specifically you limit yourself in that category.
Yeah, people ask me all the time if I count how much secondhand I buy, and I don't, because the rule of five has taught me to be so incredibly picky with whatever I'm bringing into my house.
Interesting.
Yes, so the 5 items that I buy, you have to be picky. Like you can't just waste it on like an impulse or something that you might not wear more than a few times. Like you have to buy things that are going to last you a long time and are going to flawlessly fit into what you already own so that you can style it in multiple ways and all of the things. And that's exactly how I approach secondhand too.
Interesting.
Like I also ask myself, and I know this is unique and it's not going to apply to everybody, but anything that I buy, I ask myself, can I pass this down to my daughter? And if the answer is no, I don't buy it.
Interesting.
And it's not like, can I pass this down to her? Meaning like, will she like it? Or will it come back in style? Or is it expensive and like retain value? It's more of like, is the quality good enough to last 30 plus years? Like she may not want it. That's fine. It can go to somebody else. But it's more of like the principle of like, will this thing last?
Does how you buy now affect how you donate as well? I'm just curious if that like,
I don't really, back when I was shopping so much, I donated all the time. I don't really donate that much anymore.
Interesting.
Because I like what I have. I want to keep what I have and use what I have. So I'm not purging like I used to.
I love this quote from one of your posts. Treat shopping like trying to find a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's really clever.
Yeah. Like it's a relationship. You have to really value where it came from and agree with the principles that it stands upon. Like, it's like, these are things that are going to be in your realm all the time and represent you. And so you want it to be high quality.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I love this, the green flags too, that you post about. You're asking yourself these green flags in secondhand. It's hard to find secondhand. It's made of natural fibers. It was produced where strong labor protections exist. You can style it 3 ways and it genuinely excites you. I thought those were really classic 5 things to ask yourself, even when you're shopping secondhand.
Yes. Any rule that I use, and not even rule, but just kind of like helpful tip that I use for myself when I'm shopping for the 5, I apply to shopping secondhand too.
Does it ever feel like you're literally treating shopping addicts on your page? Because some of your comments are like so helpful. And I feel like people are coming to you because they need help.
Yeah. So I feel like, and I haven't talked about this enough, but I feel like, so I studied the DSM, which is like the book that mental health professionals use to diagnose any kind of mental health disorder. So I was trained in that. And I feel like, shopping addiction is not in the book, but it's a thing. It's a real thing. And it's like any other addiction. I probably didn't meet all the criteria to like have a diagnosable addiction, but I did have some really concerning. I did meet some really concerning criteria. And one of them was you are trying to stop and you can't. And that's for anything, right? Like drugs, alcohol, gambling, all the things. And the other one for me was it was starting to affect my like other things in my life. And for me, it was like my mental health. So those are just kind of clues that I probably do need to share more. I'm not an addiction expert. I do think that people have reached out to me many, many times about how they have a shopping addiction. And I think awareness is obviously the very first step. And I'm happy to like support them in whatever treatment they get or whatever help that works for them. But I also I don't think I'm the right person to they do need a professional.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you are offering this like aspirational content that can be really life affirming and helpful as people are trying to do this for themselves, which I think is cool. Do you have a specific video or post that really like blew up for you where you were like, wow, this is really resonating with my audience and I'm going to keep doing this?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm sure. Yeah, there were several that I was, social media is funny because it's usually a surprise when a post goes viral because you're like, oh, that one?
Yeah.
But there were several that that blew up. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think, but there was one a few years ago and it was so funny. It was my friend took a video of me trying on a jacket in a thrift store, and inside the pockets were leather gloves.
Oh my gosh.
But I didn't know when I put my hands in the pockets, I didn't know what it was. And so it's like pulling out this glove and like throwing it, like scared. The internet hated me for that. They're like, oh my God, you're so spoiled. That's not even gross. Like, you should see what I found in a pocket. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like, calm down. You know?
But even the angry stuff makes it go wild, you know? I just interviewed somebody a couple of weeks ago who like was on camera being filmed to put their hand in a pocket and pulled out like a tissue. Now that I could see like, you know, being awful, right? But
yeah, of course.
Yeah. But she was like, what, another day at a thrift store, you know?
Totally.
Yeah. It's so interesting.
It is.
So let's talk about Austin. I'm super excited. We are opening a store in San Antonio, and I'm going to like beg and borrow and plead for you to come check out our opening.
I will be there.
Awesome. We're opening end of August, beginning of September.
Okay, cool.
It's open, but we'll definitely keep you posted. But tell us about Austin. Tell us about, you know, your favorite haunts, the places that people need to go this summer when they're looking to thrift.
I do have to say we are quite spoiled here in Austin.
Ooh.
With access to thrifting, secondhand. We have some amazing vintage stores that it's just, you know, I post about kind of like my favorites a lot, and you know, I have people from all over the country and they're like, I wish I had that, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I wish you did too. Like, we just have a great community here, and if anyone ever wants to come visit Austin, I will give you all my favorite places.
Oh, I love that.
So I live 3 minutes away from the best Goodwill in town.
Oh, wow.
Which is cheating. Like, that's not even like, I don't tell people that because it's like cheating. So I stop in there, you know, on my way home a lot of the time. And again, I set my timer because I don't have like a ton of time. But so that's a frequent one. Austin Pets Alive, which is a nonprofit that it's a shelter. It's an animal shelter, and they do amazing work for all the animals in Central Texas. You can donate. They have several thrift stores throughout Austin. So I love the one on Burnet, Burnet. And then a lot of it is just vintage and secondhand.
Good
stores.
vintage Austin.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Huge music scene. Oh, I'm so excited to check it out. Hopefully we'll do a store there. Now, do you guys have a Texas thrift in Austin?
Yes. It's a little far from me though.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
We
So I
keep
don't make
hearing
it out
about
there.
it in San Antonio, and I'm like trying to figure out who our biggest competitor is going to be.
Yeah.
Does your Goodwill do any like every week sales, or just like a color tag rotation to keep their product fresh?
I think they do. They do it senior day on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
They do color days. They do like Monday 50% off all furniture. Like every day they have some sort of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually an interesting question too. We hear that Texas isn't like really known for having really great thrifted furniture. Is there somebody that like specializes in it there, or is it more like Facebook Marketplace?
So I haven't been there yet, but I have a good friend who gets a lot of good furniture from Salvation Army.
Okay, that must be it.
I don't know of any Goodwills here that have a large selection of secondhand furniture. I have some great local dealers that they'll go out and find, you know, the great pieces, and their prices are pretty good.
Yep.
So I prefer going that route because it's already like scouted. It's already all the things for furniture, at least. For clothes, I like to do myself.
And when you're talking about your rule of 5, does it apply to anything in your home, or is it just your fashion?
For me, it's just my fashion. And for the challenge, it's just fashion. However, it can be applied to anything you want it to, right?
Yeah.
It can be applied to furniture.
Yeah, literally.
Because there are people who like, that's an addiction too, is like secondhand furniture, like sourcing for your house, all the things.
Oh, the knickknacks, the housewares.
Yes.
Ugh.
I have the opposite problem. I'm like a recovering perfectionist. And so it's like, I like a clean,
no
like
clutter.
my house to be like super spot clean. So like, I don't accumulate a lot of stuff to the point where like we have empty drawers.
Wow.
and like cabinets and stuff. Cause I'm like, I don't want anything.
Yeah.
So
It's so much stuff.
it's
Yes.
just too much. Like, I don't like being around like a lot of in my home, like I
Yeah.
can go into someone else's home and I don't care.
And do you secondhand shop for your kiddos?
Yes, I do. And that's something that's been super fun to teach my daughter. So my daughter's 9 and she, there's a great resale shop here called Sparkle Kids and
What a great name.
yeah, resale for kids. There's a few really good ones in Austin, but that's the one that's like closest to my house. If you can't tell, I like things close to my house just because I'm like,
I get it.
can't run around like 20 minutes here and 20 minutes there. So anyway, I introduced my daughter to Poshmark and, Depop and stuff because she wants certain brands because that's like
Sure.
what the kids are wearing. And I'm like, that's fine. That's part of your development. I totally understand. We're not going to buy it all. You kind of have to be picky and choosy with what you want to get. But we're going to find it secondhand.
Yeah.
And she loves it. She totally loves it.
Yeah. It becomes like the treasure hunt for the kiddos.
Oh, yeah.
It is fascinating. My son has grown up in thrift. So, we kind of go in and out of phases where he's into it and not. He'll be 17 this year. And I'm like wondering when he's going to head back to the thrift store. It's 16 is rough. So
yeah.
buckle up.
So the Goodwill that I go to is right by the big high school in Central Austin.
Yeah.
There's kids there constantly.
Yes.
It's really cool to see.
Oh, I love that.
They're all looking for t-shirts and stuff for dances. And yeah, it's cool.
What would you say about your audience? Are you seeing a younger audience like flocking to your socials as well that are
No, my audience is on the older side. And I think it's because this is my theory about that. I think it's because our generation, 30s, 40s, even 50s, we grew up in this time where secondhand just wasn't as popular.
Yeah.
I know people who like that was their life and that, but it was less common growing up, I think, for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got introduced to overconsumption gradually. And as the internet became a thing and social media became a thing, like that was it was like this pathway for a lot of us.
Sure.
And so it's like now in later life, we are realizing that's not how we want to spend our time and money and energy. Yeah. I think for younger generations, one, thrifting is already kind of like a thing and
cool. Yeah. It's on TikTok. Cool. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. But also two, like developmentally, they are still hung up on like the brands and the influencers and the links and all of that. And so they just haven't maybe caught up with where we're at in our lives, where we just like want to stop.
Yeah. And you're thinking about the future for your kids. I think that's most like these young moms. I'm like, wow, you're worried it's consuming. You start worrying about it and going, what's going to happen to this planet? How are we going to leave it? It's very scary.
Yeah.
I have this girlfriend who love her, Lori, who, she's like a chronic returner. At any given time, her entire back trunk is like filled with, I got to return these things. And it's an issue,
Yeah.
And breaking that cycle, was there something that like just finally where you were like, no, I'm done? Was there that point that just really clicked for you and you're like, forget it, I'm done having a full trunk of returns?
It wasn't so much like something happened. It was like my anxiety got to the point where I wanted to stop. Like I knew I had to.
Standing in line at Whole Foods to return the Amazon stuff. Yeah. That line.
Yeah. And for me, it wasn't even like, it wasn't a lot of Amazon. It was like Zara. Zara was like a big one for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Tell us about the Repeat Club.
Okay. So the Repeat Club is I feel so proud of it because it was such a long time coming. I knew that I wanted to do something that was a little bit smaller than just like a social media platform and like build a smaller community. Because I have people who have been following Landerline for years. Yeah. And I kind of wanted to give them a little bit more, but I didn't know how. And I wanted to, monetizing has never really been like a goal for me, but I wanted to like see what would happen if I created something out there for people to like purchase or subscribe to. And so again, I have these moments where things just like hit me out of the blue. I was on a walk And I was like, I'm going to do like a weekly challenge. And it's for anyone who wants to join. And if they don't want to, that's totally okay too, and see what happens. And so I launched it that day. And so every Sunday I post to the subscribers a challenge for the week to complete. And then we talk about it kind of one-on-one. So like, for instance, this week was a little bit different because usually it's something like, and it's all about rewearing what's already in your closet.
Sure.
My whole message is like, you don't need to buy anything new. You can just wear what you have, and we can make it fun. So usually it's like, wear something you haven't worn in 6 months or longer, or wear something that has the tags on still, or wear something that's in the giveaway pile, give it another go. Those are kind of the things that we've done. This week it was take 20 minutes, rearrange something in your closet. So like for me, I switched sweaters and shoes around, and it was like I saw all these new outfits that I could create.
Ooh.
So there's going to be a little bit more of that too, where it's more thought-provoking as opposed to like re-wearing every single week. Yeah, it's really fun.
And do people like share with you, like send you pictures?
Oh yeah.
Talk about your community, some of the like wild things.
So people will send me photos and be like, oh my gosh, I thought I wanted to give this away, but now I love it because I'm pairing it with this, which I'd never thought of before. Or like I had someone say like they cleared out a section in their closet and like now they have all these outfits for the week that they set aside that they're so excited to wear. I had someone, like every week it's like this epiphany of, and then there's some people who are like, I didn't get to it this week. And it's like, that's okay. You can start it next week.
Yeah.
You can layer them, it
How
doesn't.
interesting that seems to hold people accountable just to be part of this club.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. That's
so
gotta
I'm
feel
hoping
good.
people find value in it. And I even enjoy doing it myself. So even if others don't, like, it's been fun for me.
So no matter what, if you put a challenge out there, it's to yourself as well.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
That makes it so much more exciting and holds you accountable too. So now you have this community, you're all holding each other accountable to doing this.
Yes. Yes. And I need to also launch it on Substack because a lot like Instagram subscriptions can be really wonky. Like there's some people who get in automatically. There's some people who get waitlisted, which doesn't
Oh,
make
interesting. Okay.
There's some people who it's like a dead link. There's some people who just use Instagram on desktop, and so they don't have access to subscriptions. So I'm that's a goal of mine this summer is to launch it on Substack as well.
Substack, I feel like people are going there more and more to talk about sustainability and to talk about secondhand.
I was on there for a while, and it just became harder and harder for me to stick to like a schedule that made it worth it for people, So I took a pause, but I think I can revamp it with the Repeat Club.
Yeah. And you're in summer now, so maybe there's a little more time for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Kids out of school, though, sometimes that's even harder.
I know. It's such a mess.
What are most people getting wrong about sustainability right now?
Oh, man. So many things. I think greenwashing is a huge issue. I think there needs to be more education about what greenwashing looks like and what to look out for. It can be very hidden and very elusive.
Ooh, describe this to us. Educate our
Well,
listeners.
I mean, for one, there's absolutely no regulation around the words that are being used. So like sustainability or green or eco-friendly, like these are just words that anyone can use. So for instance, I've been trying to find activewear, like workout clothes that are made of natural materials that don't have any plastic in them. And so I'm getting these targeted ads, and one was very convincing, and it said non-toxic workout wear. And like the branding was great and like the product looked great. So I went to the website, checked out some of their styles, thought it was great. And then I went to like the ingredients or the fabric or whatever, and it was polyester.
Yeah.
So it's like we just have to be so thorough as consumers to like get to the bottom of some of this messaging. And I think people have no clue that this is actually happening like all the time.
Yeah. It's the wild, wild west. Yeah.
With food, with furniture, So, and I also don't think it's helpful to like be so stringent and strict about ingredients and fabrics and stuff, because that can cause so much stress and that's not healthy either. But I think that instead of leading with like, oh, is this sustainable? Oh, is this like green? Like just look at, see what it's made out of.
Start there.
Just start there.
Yeah. Easy place to start. Check out the ingredients. And I'm with you on the food of it all too. So important. What about thrifting a gift? Does the rule of 5 apply in this? Is that an area where people get tripped up?
What do you mean thrifting a gift?
Like if you need a gift for someone, are you okay with it being a secondhand gift?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, if I find something that I think they'll like, for sure. Like I'm not going to give someone a gift that's secondhand that I'm just like, oh, it's secondhand, so I feel good about giving it. Like if they're not going to like it, it's not worth it.
Yeah, it depends on the
so
item.
with the rule of 5, secondhand purchases don't count.
Apply at all. Yep.
But gifting does count. So like if my mom were to buy me a sweater, I would have to count that towards my.
Oh, really?
5.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is actually a great conversation I've had to have with my community of people who gift things to me.
Yeah.
You can't give me any clothes.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Yeah. And so then you talk about it and it spurred really good conversations.
Yeah. And maybe they'll bring you a house plant instead, which, you know, you never have too many of. Do you have a like unicorn item, that item that you're like still to this day so proud that you have found secondhand?
So yes, I have this beautiful rug.
Ooh.
That I found at like there was a show that was being filmed in Austin and it got canceled. They stopped filming or whatever. So they were selling all of this set stuff, like all this set furniture. And
that's wild.
It was wild. It was so wild. And I got this beautiful rug. I think it's like 9 by 12. It's humongous. And it's I'm looking at it right now. It's in my living room. And I got it for $40.
Oh.
And I went to get it cleaned, like professionally cleaned.
Which probably cost 6 times
it was like
that.
$400.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's fine. I don't want to know what this rug has seen. And like, I'd rather just have a clean rug. But he was like, this is like a $6,000 or $7,000 rug.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
The Holy Grail.
This is a nice Persian rug.
We've never had someone say their unicorn item is a rug. Good on you, girl. I love that. Yeah. That makes my day.
I can't think of like a clothing item that I thrifted that, you know, what I bring home, I love, but nothing that's like super valuable or like I haven't found any like designer.
Yeah.
Like hardcore.
Well, a rug is pretty cool. I'd say a valuable Persian rug is pretty awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. And rugs are very expensive.
Oh my gosh.
And even secondhand too.
Yeah. And even when they're difficult to store at our stores, like without really gathering whatever kind of funk is on the ground and everything, it's so hard for us to like make sure they're in quality condition, and they're heavy and they're just cumbersome. It's like furniture. What about the item you want to put out there, like that you're looking to manifest the next time you're thrifting? Even though you don't go in with a plan typically.
Yeah.
What would be the amazing thing to find?
Oh man. I might have to come back on that one.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Oh, I love
because
that.
You know what? I think the thing is I'm so open-minded.
Yeah.
I don't have, you know, I suggest to people who are like overwhelmed or don't know which direction to go. I'm like, make a list of things that are like holes in your closet that you feel like you want to, like a trench or, you know, like a really good pair of cargo pants, like whatever it is, just make a list. Mm-hmm. And so those are at the forefront of your mind when you're searching, but I don't even have a list.
Wow.
Because I see stuff and I'm like, that's cool, you know, and then, and I'll try and figure out how it'll work. And sometimes I'll put, you know, most of the time I do put it back, but like, I like to go in with an open mind so that I can figure out how to do stuff.
Yeah. And whatever's looking for will find you, which I always think that's one of the cool things about the treasure hunt is that special item finds the right person.
100%.
It's something spooky in our stores. I love
it. Really is.
It's amazing. The story is like, it is. It's magic.
Yes.
So what's next for you and Landerline? Any like big goals you can share with our listeners that they have to tune in for?
I don't know how and when, but I would like to create a book
Oh,
um, uh, based off the repeat clubs so that people can do the challenges even if they're not on social media or following social media or
mhm.
don't want to, use their time that way. They can have something that they can use reference every single week as they go through their year with a lot of like good information and tips and things like that. Kind of like
Yeah.
a yearly, yeah. Anyway, that's my like little goal or big
Well,
goal,
when
I
you
guess.
launch, please come back, launch on our,
Yeah.
we'd love to have you on the pod to launch that with everybody. It occurs to me, have you done any like just budgeting on how much you might have saved with this whole, multiple years in a row?
How much money?
Yeah.
Um, I have not done that. However, and money is obviously something that is amazing to save. For me, it was the time,
Yeah.
saving my time
And your
and
mental
my energy.
aptitude. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me. I'm so much happier.
That's priceless. You can't put
I
a
know.
price on that.
I do have to say that, like with buying the rule of five, like with the rule of five and buying pieces, when you're buying fast fashion or you're over consuming, you think that you're not spending as much money as you are because things are cheaper, like $50 dress here, like a $12 tank top there. It all adds up to a lot of money.
Mhm.
And when you just buy 5 brand new things, you're definitely saving a lot of money, but you're also able to afford things that you may not think you could have, like an organic cotton t-shirt. Those can be very expensive. And your past life, you might have been like, there's absolutely no way I'm paying $110 for an organic t-shirt. But when you're not buying fast fashion, like that's accessible all of
Yeah.
a sudden.
Suddenly becomes affordable.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So it's just it's a really good learning opportunity and mindset shift. And I think anyone who is curious should definitely try.
Yeah. At least dip your toe in and give it a shot. Yeah. I think you'll have a lot of people that listen to this pod and are like, this is how I want to live my life."
It's
I'll
the
have to come and
best.
check you out.
Yeah.
Anybody on social media that we should be following that's like really inspiring you lately that we can't miss out on?
Ooh, gosh, so many. Okay, one of my best friends, her name is Abby Hammer. Her handle is Abby Hammer, Hamer, etc. So ETC. She is she was a stylist and she is also a secondhand seller. She sources epic pieces.
Oh, I love that.
And she's a reseller on Instagram. So she's such a good follow. She has a beautiful eye. She helps me with my house. Like we just have the best time together. I have some amazing vintage furniture accounts that I love. I don't know if that would help your audience because I don't know. They're kind of all over the place.
Oh yeah. Anybody you want to share with us, let me know. You can always send me an email.
Little Vintage
Okay.
is amazing. They're based here. There is, oh shoot, what's her name? Let me look really quick.
Yeah. We love to just, send people to a couple different places, especially if you've
Yeah.
got local people in Austin. Cool.
Oh, Secondhands Austin.
Cool.
They have some beautiful pieces. Let me look really quick.
And if you ever see like a big box in Austin that looks like it might be for rent, please let me know.
A big what?
A big box, like empty space. Because
Oh,
I would assume that San Antonio, next on our list will be Austin.
mhm.
I can imagine that we're
That'd be
heading
cool.
that direction. So someday.
We didn't even touch on jewelry. I only buy secondhand vintage jewelry now.
Oh, really?
Real materials. So like real gold, real stones, all that. One of my best friends, Catherine, she has Alador, Alador. She has beautiful vintage pieces.
Oh, cool. Are you finding that's, really high quality stuff at your thrift stores in Austin? They've got it.
Oh, jewelry?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
I never shop for jewelry in thrift stores
Yeah.
because I that overwhelms me. And I
Oh,
also
it
like
can be a mess.
my skin is so sensitive. Like it's a complete waste of my money if I buy something that's not
Totally
like
real.
genuine.
Yeah.
I want to tell you so many more accounts. I'm like trying to pull them up. And, you know, like there's so many, Austin just has such cool stuff. Like there's amazing photographers and just creators and
We have a
stuff that
couple
I
of
follow.
makers from Austin too that follow us that are
Oh,
just like
really? Yeah,
super
we have amazing.
creative.
Yes. Oh, Paloma Consignment. She's
Ooh,
brand new. Paloma. Her name is Caroline. She just opened her store this week. She's in an amazing area of Austin called North Loop that has, like, if you're visiting Austin, you could spend a whole afternoon just on that one street shopping
North
secondhand.
Loop. Oh
And
yeah.
she has high end plus like Free People and J. Crew, and it's consignment. So some great finds there too.
Yeah. It really is a whole world. And, you know, I always like to say that this podcast is devoted to normalizing secondhand, but it really is because of people like you living it out loud for real and making your whole like lifestyle. They're going to keep it going. So we're
Yeah,
grateful for your service to our industry. Please keep doing it.
of
Thank you.
course. Thank you. You've been so much fun to talk to. I could talk about this stuff all day.
I'm really excited to meet you in person. So
Yeah.
after we hang up, after we stop recording, we'll talk more. And if you're in the San Antonio area, come. You can meet Emily in person. Hopefully at our ribbon cutting. I'll give you
Okay.
plenty of notice.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite a few, Austin and just there's a few San Antonio influencers too. So maybe it's
Cool.
like a community for you guys as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And we'd love to show you, since sustainability is really a part of your brand, is like how we recycle and all of that too. So we'll
Yes.
kind of run you through the paces on that.
That stuff is fascinating to me because I know
Oh.
how difficult it is to navigate for businesses like y'all. Like it is
It's tough.
so hard. And I think people expect so much. It's like unrealistic expectations on like how things operate. And they just have absolutely no understanding conceptually of like what the logistics look like.
Oh my gosh. The amount of stuff.
Yeah. And I do, you know, in my early days of Landerline, I did talk about what I call responsible donation, because I think people think that we can just donate whatever and it
True.
goes to a good home, and that's just not true. And like, it's not because of lack of trying. It's because there's too much.
Yeah.
And
And
a lot of it is not sellable.
Mhm.
So I did talk about that, and I feel like I do need to touch on that soon.
Yeah. And if you ever come to Colorado, we can show you kind of our operations, but you're absolutely right. People expect a lot of us. They hold us to a high standard, and, we do our best, but it's not a perfect system at all.
No.
Yeah. It's really rough.
Okay. Remind me
Okay.
where in Colorado y'all are.
We have almost 40 stores like in
okay.
Denver, so that we call it the Front Range, which is kind of below the mountains, although I do have a few in the mountains as well. But we're in, from Denver in the middle, and then as far north as Fort Collins, which is like where CSU is.
Okay.
As far west is Grand Junction, and then all the way down to Pueblo in the south.
Okay. I'd love to attend.
Yeah. Oh, we have a lot of, if you come, sometimes we do like groups of resellers. I'll do tours of our warehouse. You can meet our guy that is this like old school Harley Davidson guy, but he's up in the middle of the night, negotiating with overseas. We do a lot with Canada. They are the premier in ethical recycling. Our Canadian friends, really, we only use brokers from Canada that are really into ethical practices. So anything that we send overseas is recycled only with countries that have ethical labor practices and don't have huge landfill situations. Like we can't even bring anything to South America anymore. Terrible polluters.
Right.
So he feels really strongly about that, which is always, he looks like this gruff Harley Davidson guy, but he really like has this love for the environment.
I love that.
So that's always fun.
Amazing. What was the country that banned secondhand imports? It was
probably
it was country in South America.
Definitely the South Americans they're overwrought with stuff. Like right now, Pakistan, Karachi is our number one place where we send to, because they have a thriving secondhand market program that's really helping them their economics. Pakistan right now is probably doing the best job, but it fluctuates. And I know Marty's always trying to work directly with countries and negotiate, good prices for them, good prices for us. And then the cost for us too, I was just looking at one of our P&Ls, electronics is so difficult to responsibly recycle. We try and use local Colorado companies that do it ethically, but that fluctuates and changes all the time too. And then you
Yeah.
get the people who dump their mattresses on us. That
Yeah.
cost, we can't resell them. We would never. It's illegal. But it's
Yeah.
also illegal to dump at our back doors. But let me tell you, we get mattresses at every single store, multiple a day.
So I don't think that's illegal in Texas.
Oh,
which is
interesting.
concerning.
Oh, great.
Gross. I
Don't be
feel like I've seen mattresses at thrift stores.
Oh, wow. Like here in
Um,
Colorado, we sell mattresses, but they're brand new and we have
like a
deal
liquidation type thing.
and
Yeah.
we work with Denver Mattress and they give us like they're boxed up, they're bagged up. We like,
So maybe
they're
it's
like
that.
freezer sealed.
Maybe
I
that's
hope
what I'm
so.
seeing. I'm not seeing like gross mattresses. They're all kind of like
Packaged.
packaged.
Hopefully they're doing, I would hope, but gosh, I'll have to look into that. The Texas laws around mattresses. I wonder how many people are going to dump them on our back doors.
Oh my gosh.
They're so hard to dispose of.
Yeah, I was talking to one thrift store, like he like ran the logistics and he said that their yearly trash bill is over $1 million.
Yeah, it's
a year.
pricey. Yeah. Ours is a little lower than that, but we try our hardest not to clutter the landfills.
Yeah.
That's really the goal. We did almost $1 million in just electronics disposals with companies that ethically recycle it. It's a really interesting business, but I'm hopeful that young people find thrift and it will continue to thrive and grow. And you're on the cutting edge of that. So we're counting on people like you to like keep us in business.
I'll do my best.
Yes, we love it. And as we end every pod, we love to do a shout out to my personal inspiration. As even though you're from the Bay Area, I too am from
Dolly
California.
Right?
Dolly Parton. Yes.
Dolly Parton.
We do a shout out to the vintage queen herself, Dolly Parton. I'm
Okay.
headed to Pigeon Forge this summer. Can't wait.
So fun.
Anything you'd like to say to or about Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton, she's just everything. Like I just feel like we should all strive to be a bit like her every single day.
Mhm.
She's
Oh.
just got a heart of gold and she's iconic.
Yes, it really has turned into such a thing for this podcast to really, end it on a high note with somebody who's doing something that inspires. But
Yeah.
I'm lucky because I get to talk to people who inspire the thrift industry every day like you. So you're a delight. Thanks, Emily.
Well, thank you so much.
And tell our listeners once again how they find you, follow you, and send you all their love and ask for some advice on how to do this right.
Yes, you can reach out to me on Instagram at the Landerline. I also have a messaging page on my website, landerline.com, and I can't wait to hear from you.
Perfect. And we'll see you in San Antonio.
Yes, you will.
Thanks, Emily.
Thank you.
And Thrifties, thanks so much for tuning in once again to the Get Thrifty podcast. Reminder, save our pod and leave us a 5-star review about how funny, creative, and smart we are. And if you're part of this unique thrift culture, we'd love to have you on. You can find me on Instagram at Podcast with Maggie. And as always, please follow ARC on Instagram and YouTube at ARC Thrift. And now on TikTok at ARC Thrift Stores. Thanks so much and have a wonderful week.
Hunt for it, find it, make it your own. It's the Get Thrifty Podcast.